Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here, coming at you with another StarCraft 2 commentary. And this is going to be a great game. Uh, I normally would be saying that kind of thing when I expected a great game, when it was just two really good players. And, not that these are bad players, but, I was just expecting a high-level matchup or something like that. I might say that, but in this case, this is actually one of the very, very, very rare occasions where I have actually seen the game before, and I'm actually going to be doing a commentary on a game that I've seen previously. Um, I don't usually do that. I've only done that a few times in general in the years that I've been casting. Occasionally, it's been necessary if I do game 4 of a series and and the export messes up or something like that. I lose it and I need to go back to complete the series. Anyway, so what I basically do is just try and say what I was thinking when I first saw the game, basically, and try and not try and predict or anything like that. Just say what I was thinking the first time around. And I mean, when battles go down, they're cool regardless. And wow, that's kind of cool. Look at that little glowing ball, glowing something or other. Anyway, but yes, I've seen this game before because I actually watched this game earlier because I was testing out some graphic settings. I've been messing with the variables.txt file, trying to get some stuff to work a little bit better, to get the graphics higher in order and still record properly. And actually, this is the several time that I've recorded this beginning because it kept messing up, and I actually there's going to be a point where at the end of this segment I'll say, alright, now I hope that's better, because in the previous time I recorded it I said, oh, I gotta change the resolution. I was doing a 1080p resolution to see if that would work, and it started to work okay, and then it totally screwed up. So I had to change resolutions. Anyway, so that's why I watched this game before, because it was just a random game that I just downloaded just because I wanted a good 1.13 replay, or 1.3 replay, since they just did another patch, and so now you have to go ahead and reboot into a previous version to watch the last month of replays, just because they changed the Thor's attack preferences slightly. That's pretty much it. Anyway, none of this really has anything to do with anything other than the fact that let me know what you think about the graphics. I've changed some of the graphics in variables.txt, and it looks a little cheesy now, but let me know what you guys think about it, and if it needs to go back or whatever. Still at 15 FPS. Anyway, but I think this is about the point where I left off. I think this is actually a little bit after the point that I left off before, so I'm going to just go back to what I was saying earlier, but this is Demaga versus Duckloadraw. Demaga is of course a very, very popular Brood War player who is playing StarCraft 2 now, of course, obviously, for the MTW clan. And as I believe I'm going to say again in like 30 seconds, I do not know who Duckloadraw is, unfortunately. I haven't heard too much about him. Anyway, there's some gateways going down, but I've already said this. Crap, I'm way over. Okay, you're gonna have to watch like a minute of this replay twice. Sorry. Let's switch. Alright, that should be a little bit better, hopefully. It's down to 720p. I'm just gonna have to. I think I can export the 1080p resolution up. Anyway, yes. So comments on the graphics, please. Let me know what you guys think about it. It does look a little bit cheesy. I turned down the shadows way down. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. So anyway, Duckloadraw, unfortunately I do not know much about him, but he is going for 3 gateways right off the bat, or 3 gateways after his first one. He is really going hardcore here with some major pressure. He's actually sending this single stalker out. I was watching some Brood War today, almost called it a Dragoon, and he's just kind of coming back and forth, checking what pot shots he can, and doing pretty well. Keeping that stalker back. He's got 2 stalkers now. He's going to run in here and try and do some more damage. Again, attacking and falling back, attacking, falling back, kiting those Zerglings. Queen's going to come in here and get a couple hits. He's going to fall back and attack that Queen instead. Queen taking some damage. He can probably get away if need to. And here come the Zerglings attacking. Not the best micro, but you can't really micro slow Zerglings not on creep against Stalkers that well. They're just not that effective. You can see he was able to get some hits on this second Stalker, but wow, look at that. 2 Stalkers with a total of 9 kills, killing a whole lot of Zerglings. Now more Zerglings incoming, and yeah, the speed is almost finished. That's going to really change things. These Zerglings are then going to have, instead of a disadvantage, they're going to have an advantage against those Stalkers. And why is it still lagging? I turned down the resolution and everything. I really apologize for that. I am going to be working steadily this week to try and get my settings figured out so that I can make sure I don't have any lag in the game. And I don't know what Blizzard keeps doing to make the game run worse, but it's getting a little bit aggravating. Anyways, lots of pressure going on here. He's got these 4 warp gates going on now, and he's going to come over here and probably plant down a pylon pretty quick. Oh, nice little snipe of that Sentry. Beautiful job running those Zerglings in there. The Sentry tried to force field its way alive, but could not. And he really needs to keep those units in kind of a clump. Here's some more Stalkers coming in from behind as well to join up. Where's the single? That one Zergling decided to take the long way around. Anyway, and then he can just kind of, you know, block off this door if he needs to. And actually, the Zerglings are coming through. They're going to get spotted by this pylon, so the counterattack won't work. Lots of Zerglings here, actually. Tons and tons of Zerglings. He's got 4 warp gates though, so he's able to spawn in a lot of units to reinforce. He's got those sentries there, so he can force field those Zerglings out. And there we go. Beautiful force fields protecting from that surround. He's gonna pop that Overlord. And actually, wow, Demaga is in big trouble because he can't get his forces up the ramp. A few Zerglings run in there. Excuse me. A few forces run in there. Oh, he's got a Baneling. Oh, I didn't even see the Baneling nest. I apologize. Some Banelings are coming in, but not going to do enough good. Kill a few Zealots, but the main force is still here, and his Zerglings cannot get up the ramp. But he's got a bunch of Zerglings here. Lots and lots of Zerglings. 44 Zerglings. He's broken down his own rocks to get into his own base. The drones have run away. Now the Zerglings come in from around the side, and he's actually going to surround the sentries. He left the sentries by the ramp so they could force field the ramp. They're going to get sniped away from the rest of the units. The rest of the units get pinned in the back here. Absolutely brutal. And look at this. He's already mining. He's already back mining as these last 2 Stalkers get pinned in the back corner. A very nice position, getting them in the back there so that they could do as much damage as possible. And now things have completely turned around. For a moment there, I thought that Demaga was going to get owned. All of his Zerglings were stuck at the bottom, but beautiful decision making, deciding to break through his own rocks. And now he's just going mass Lings here. Lings coming in to oh man, and he shouldn't have, well, he didn't know that the counterattack was going to be so soon and so huge. But is it going to block the ramp? Oh, he needs to get a force field in the gap, keeping all those Zerglings from streaming through. Demaga with a little bit of a actually, I don't know if he could have squeezed by, but I think he could have forced his way in there. Look at this. He's having to warp in sentries with what gas he has so that he can keep force fields up if necessary. Although this Zealot, well, it's very close to the dead actually, but some more Zealots in the gap should be fine. And look at this. He's actually going after Duckload's rocks now, countering to slow that down. A single Stalker warps in, is going to slowly pick away at these Zerglings. In the meantime, trying to bust in the front door again. Gets that one Zealot down. Oh, so close. No. But the Zealots in just barely able to hold that gap. And it looks like these 2 Stalkers are going to slowly and steadily pick off all these Zerglings as they're attacking. I don't know if the Stalkers can reach right here, right next there. But oh my goodness, tons and tons and tons of Zerglings. What's he making? Oh, another Baneling nest going up, another hatchery as well. So somehow he's gotten all these Zerglings and still managed to, well, I guess he didn't lose his drones. That's what it comes down to, is he didn't lose any of the drones in his natural. He kind of bypassed the natural, went up the ramp, and when he went in here, all the drones ran off to the side, so he didn't lose any drones there either. So his economy kept in good shape, and he kept his queens as well, so he was able to do just fine. And Stalker's falling away from those rocks, trying to come back over here to the front door. He's got a nice door set up. He needs to try and move down that ramp and get a secondary base pretty soon, though. Wow. So the Baneling nest comes back up. He morphs in a lot of Banelings. Not the right time to move down the ramp. He needs to, watch out for the Banelings. A single Baneling hits the front of those Zealots. Decent splash damage to a couple of those Zealots there in the front. But he's going to go, he's left the Rocks alone. The stalkers are gone. The destructible rocks are going to go down in the back. He realizes it now. He's running a few stalkers over there, but it's going to be too late. Oh, which way is he going to go? Is he going to try and go up the front? He's got a few Zerglings running in the back. Where is he going to send his main force? He's got a bunch of Banelings here, lots of Zerglings, more forces streaming in as we speak. And it looks like, oh, he's run his entire army back into his main to deal with that. He's just put some pylons down to block his front because he knows he can only deal with one entrance at a time. He's going to have to try and deal with all these Zerglings. He force fields the ramp, keeping those Banelings out. Nicely done. He doesn't quite have enough force fields left to deal with the Zerglings effectively, though. Some Banelings squeezing through there. These force fields are about to go down. They do go down. The Zerglings running away, though. And the Banelings running away just as they had their opportunity. I think it's going to wait for more reinforcements. Yeah, I thought I didn't have the production tab up because there was nothing in the red zone, but he lost some probes there, and he's just down to his one base. He's just got those 4 warp gates, actually 5 warp gates now, and that is it. And he's having to hold this ramp. It's very, very delicate situation for him. 55 Zerglings, 15 Banelings in the mix now, but a pretty decent Protoss army. If he can get some good force fields down, he should be able to block any, choke points, keep those Zerglings from surrounding him, keep those Banelings from crashing into his army, if he can pull that off. But it is not certain if he can. A little Zergling counterattack is going to get dealt with by a single Stalker warping in, I believe. Here comes the Banelings! He plants those force fields. No! Force fields not perfectly placed, and no, he can't surround his whole army. He's fallen back into this little cornering. The Zerglings going to work. The Banelings eventually squeezing their way in and blowing up all kinds of zealots. The Stalkers getting damaged as well. And Damaga completely cleans up that force. Tuckload GG's and leaves the game. Wow, absolutely brilliant. That was just absolute genius. Decision making, pulling the drones off, getting him out of the way, and actually killing his own rocks in a really clutch move. And it also came down to Duckload had his army a little bit separated. He had his sentries over here so they could keep blocking that ramp. He didn't expect things to come in the other direction. And with his army separated, he couldn't really protect his forces. Anyway, so beautifully played by Damaga. Just coming back from what I thought was the brink of defeat. His army was dead. At first, and then more army came in. He blocked it off on this ramp with a force field. He was going to kill the main, and somehow he just pulled it out and able to come back and apply tons of pressure with lots of speedlings and do a beautiful job with that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks very much for watching. GG. Take care.